So an eventful night, but what will it be remembered for? The fashion or something else? Here to give their thoughts, a fashion expert, Antonia O'Brien, and Craig Stevens, who's a film critic and can talk about the movies. Let's start with the dresses on the red carpet, Antonia. Who were the winners there?
For me, and I'm sure you're going to agree, Julianne Moore. Didn't she look...
She's a winner in every way, I think.
Exquisitely beautiful, so classic, the red lip, and there she is in custom-made Chanel couture.
Which, of course, only an A-lister could afford or be given.
Exactly, and it's covered in sequin, black and white rosettes. That's that little train that just drags beautifully, and taking home the best actress. For me, she was the best dressed. She just looked amazing.
You'd only wear that if you knew you were going to win, Craig. I mean, she was nailed on to win, wasn't she?
I was going to say, she was always the forerunner. She took the BAFTA as well. In fact, she took 5 awards in award season. So
yeah.
I think there's only 3 actresses have ever done that as well. The SAGs, the Globes, the BAFTA, and of course the Academy
She was on
Full
fire. So look, who wasn't on fire when it comes to the dresses?
Well, it's always open for debate. For me, Lady Gaga made a quite risky choice. She was in...
choices. She wore several, didn't she?
Yeah, she made quite a few choices. She had white Alaya. We love Alaya. Iconic 80s designer. And what looked like some flared leather red marigold.
It looks like she's just been doing the washing up, yeah.
Yeah, so Gaga loves to be a bit controversial, and the scale of the dress is magnificent, but for me, she didn't look great. And Felicity
so much
Jones...
worse, though, presumably, for Gaga, right? I mean, let's be fair, that's pretty good for Gaga, right?
Fairly tame.
There was no meat, so, you know, it's...
I think it would be controversial if she had been doing the washing up. That would be interesting. The thing is, Craig, Reese Witherspoon would berate us for spending so much time on the fashions, on the dresses. She used the hashtag in the run-up to the Oscars, Ask Her More, to encourage more thoughtful questions from journalists. And that set the tone for quite a political Oscars, didn't it? It
did, but also the worrying thing is for people like me that have to stand on those red carpets going, hang on, now I've got to think of a question? Wow, this has put the pressure on. She even tweeted a list of questions that she would rather be asked. And there was a channel, ironically, and we won't obviously name him, that then went up to her after having this conversation with her about, you know, we won't ask these questions about who you're wearing, and at the end of the interview just clearly ignored it and forgot and asked her, and just the glare from Reese Witherspoon that you don't want. But it did make, I mean, the Oscars this year, very political.
Yes.
Everyone had a message.
Especially in the winners' speeches. I mean, of course, you expect Eddie Redmayne, Julianne Moore to talk about the conditions they were portraying in their films. But was it right for the Best Director to bring up immigration? Was it right for John Legend, for example, who won Best Song, to bring up incarceration, as he wanted to talk about?
I mean, it felt a little bit uncomfortable for Alejandro González Iñárritu, because it felt like that wasn't the place for it. It felt like it was sort of crowbarred in a little bit of what should have been just an incredible achievement moment. You know, he's been nominated before for Babel, so he's no stranger to the Academy Awards. But it did feel like, hang on a minute, are we just crowbarring this in slightly? So, I mean, but it was an incredible film, and I think it's right. But with Selma, it didn't really get the nominations that I think it deserved. But that doesn't mean it wasn't a good film. It just means that the Academy may have decided those other 5 films.
That's the film where...
just a little bit better.
This is where John Legend's song came from.
That's right. Common and John Legend got the Academy Award for the theme song. There's Common, and just literally his speech afterwards when they got the award had the room just in tears. And
the performance had David Oyelowo, who stars in Selma, in tears, actually, when it finished. Look, let's get back to the fashions. I mean, we've done the politics now.
We all just want to talk about the fashion.
I think we've done it justice. Well, let's do the men some justice now, because everyone's obsessing about the dresses. Let's have a look at Benedict Cumberbatch, who flew the flag for old school British white tie. Is it right to wear white tie at a black tie event?
I think so slick. It shows he's so playful. He was involved in the ceremony, kind of supping on his hip flask, wasn't he? Looking super 007 James Bond in that white tuxedo.
Humphrey Bogart, I think, in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, actually quite a bit of bogey, yeah. I think the men's styling was quite directional this year. We had Jared Leto in pale duck egg blue Givenchy.
Not dressed as a woman.
Not dressed as a woman.
Yeah.
And his luscious long hair. And then J.K. Simmons, best supporting actor.
J.K. Simmons, great winner.
In his fedora and his 3-piece suit. So.
You both get an award because we're out of time. Thank you both very much indeed.